Now, when I look at some of these forums, I see agents say, well, don't worry, put 2.5 to 3 on the buyer agreement with the buyer in our representation agreement because we'll get the seller to cover, 1.5, 2% of that on concession.
And sellers can offer concessions on an MLS, for example, concessions for buyer closing costs via the MLS, provided that such concessions are not conditioned on the use of or payment to a buyer broker.
So even the forum out there now believes that there's this crazy rule that's going to allow them to do it.
It's
I've
so
been a
interesting.
mortgage banker for 27 years. The last thing I want to hear is that seller concessions are going to pay agents when my technical buyer needs the money.
And I know that in the video, they said they were trying to negotiate with the VA to allow them to do that. You want to explain the impact on that with loan officers and the VA buyers? How unfair. Here we got our servicemen that are serving our country, dying for our country, and now they might get blocked out from buying a home.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's insane, and the rules are going to have to change. I'm all for a veteran not having to pay certain things, like even with First Community Mortgage, one of our strategic partners, they don't charge veterans underwriting fees and appraisals. And, I'm all for our veterans getting all of this. But how do you say to our veterans now, you know what? If you want to buy a house, you're going to have to tell your agent you can't pay them to show you a home. I mean, that's extremely difficult.
How will buyer brokers get paid now?
So we've long believed that it's in the best interest of sellers, buyers, and their brokers to make offers of compensation. Unfortunately, though, using the MLS to communicate these offers of compensation will no longer be an option. So offers of compensation, while they can continue to be an option that consumers can pursue off MLS through negotiation and consultation with real estate professionals. The types of compensation available for buyers brokers would continue to take multiple forms depending on broker-consumer negotiations, including but not necessarily limited to a fixed fee commission paid directly by the consumers, a portion of the listing broker's compensation. Compensation would continue to be negotiable and should always be negotiated between agents and the consumers that they serve.
What about VA loans and the prohibition on buyers paying commissions directly?
Yeah, this is a question that we've gotten a lot, and obviously it's a concern for us. The VA has not addressed whether it will change its requirement prohibiting VA buyers from paying the commission. NAR has engaged with the VA on this issue, and we remain committed to working with the VA so that veterans are not left out of the market or forced to consider alternative loan products.
So the beauty of, because we have the commissions built into it that goes inside the purchase sale agreement. So we've got the answer even to that question about it. Here the NAR is saying, well, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know how they're going to buy it. Well, they come buy a home from Easy Real Estate Offer, they're getting financed. It's not going to affect them at all. And guess what, buyer agent that's showing the VA the home, you're getting paid without negotiating, without doing anything.
Right. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but nobody can go put an offer on a house on Easy Real Estate Offer unless they can show that they're financed to be able to pay what they're saying they can pay, correct? I mean, you can't make an offer without that, right? So buyer agreement solved, and you can only come to the table that way. Otherwise, you're not in the game. There's nothing to worry about after the fact. The price is the price. That's really great.
And for all the people that are out there saying, well, that's not the case, that buyer's premium has to be shown. The bottom line is down payments are based off of contract price, period. That's how it works. So if somebody is an FHA loan and the contract price says 200,000, they put down 3.5% of 200,000. If they're a VA buyer and that contract price says 200,000, they put down 0% of 200,000. This is basic stuff that's.
So Dave, let me ask you this, box up. So with the easy real estate offer, you know, once banks don't even know about a buyer's premium, appraisers don't know about the buyer's premium because it's built into the price. So nobody's even gonna know about the buyer's premium. It's built into the purchase sale agreement,
Yeah,
right?
this isn't about hiding something. This is literally
Right.
the way the program works is buyer premium is added to the final bid price, which equals contract price. So when a buyer's agent is writing up the contract, they are writing it up for the premium equals contract price. It doesn't say that in the purchase agreement. It literally says in the purchase agreement, contract price 200,000.
And let's take it one step deeper, for anybody that wants to know. You know, you cannot put commissions inside the MLS. You have to do a separate buyer's agreement. Well, and it's got to be done before you show them a home.
Now let's turn to another significant practice change. NAR has also agreed to enact a new rule that would require MLS participants working with buyers to enter into written agreements with their buyers before the buyer tours a home. Using buyer brokerage agreements will mandate what we have long encouraged our members to do. Enter into written agreements that help consumers understand exactly what services and value will be provided and for how much. The settlement agreement requires that the buyer broker agreement clearly sets forth the amount of compensation, how this amount will be determined, and where it will come from. The buyer broker agreement must provide that the broker will not receive compensation for brokerage services from any source that exceeds the amount agreed to in the agreement with the buyer.
Right.
So beauty of easy real estate offers, and we have an addendum with that buyer's agreement built into it that is getting done well before you ever show them a home. They want to make a bid on a home. They got the seller has signed it. The seller listing broker has signed it, and listing agent has signed it, as well as the buyer broker, the buyer's agent, and the buyer will sign it before. So that's all taken care of. You don't even need in Washington State, it's a Form 41 that we have to sign for the buyer's agreement. It's all built into you in our platform. So that's in the addendum, make sure that you're going to get paid your money. And by the way, our agents on the buyer side are averaging 2.5% to 3% per closing. And
Robert,
they didn't
is it-
negotiate one thing.